Hello. Just a quick one today. I wanted to make it very clear to people about certain attacks that we're seeing that these foul are doing upon people. I think it's really important for people to understand the level of deception and scummery, just absolute foul that's actually going on. These people are disgusting. Excuse me. And so, what I want to speak to is the concept of plausible deniability and the use of energy weapons in a covert way in order to try to induce illnesses in people prematurely, but make it look plausibly deniable. All right. So I want to just share with you my own observations. These are observations. And so this is how it goes. This is my case in point. I go out and I have a cigarette. And then immediately I hear tinnitus. And then when I come back in, I start to feel like I'm getting massive heartburn. Okay. So, okay, someone might say, okay, that's probably because you're smoking and your lungs are effed, and that's probably why you've got that issue. But I beg to differ. I've been smoking for a very long time, and only since I've been targeted have I had these sort of ailments. Okay, so say I'm not as young as I used to be. All right, but try and explain this to me. I'm getting massive heartburn. I can do a couple of things here. So I'm getting massive heartburn right here in the chest, right? Immediately after having a cigarette, which has metal particulates in it, which I've proven with a magnet, you can just get your cigarette and roll it out onto a page and then get your magnet and run it over it and you'll find there's metal flakes in there. Now, a lot of those are tiny, microscopic size because they've doused the tobacco in it and it's full of metals. You can probably find that officially, actually, that there's metals in them. But these metal particulates aren't just any old metal particulates. You can actually hit them with a microwave and they'll heat up if you've got a microwave beam. And I'd suggest that what I'm actually feeling when that happens after my cigarette, it's a deliberate attack upon my lungs to burn out the inside of my lungs. Now, the great thing about this is it's plausibly deniable, right? Because here I am, a smoker, and soon my lungs will get all decayed and there'll be massive holes inside them from burnt metal particulates that have been set to go white hot inside of my lungs. Drying them out, say they're not going white hot, say they're just going a bit warm. It'll still dry them out and it'll cause premature disease inside the lungs. So lung disease and so on. Now, how do I know that that's what they're doing? It's very simple. When I'm getting that feeling, I can take this here, which is my EMF blanket. It has a metallic, right? And I can put that over my chest and it immediately subsides. So I go from having massive heartburn to nothing. And then if I let it sit there, it'll start to come back because the rays, they use ray tracing, right, to bounce it around, or MIMO, beam forming, beam steering, all right? And so they find a way in, and they can go through your back, you know? And so I find I have to be covered, but also just sitting there, it'll eventually come through. Like they'll come through the neck, they'll come through the head, they'll come through the back. Either way, they get to you, right? But if you do, I find if I do this, right, move it just like that with my arm, that they can't get in, right? Okay, so that's number one. But I mean, to prove it even further, I can feel the beam for starters, because if my hand's got metal particulates on it, it enlivens, and I can feel that beam coming down, right? And so that's 2. 3, if I go like this, if I've got nothing to shield with, and I'm getting that massive heartburn, all I have to do is this. I don't even have to touch myself, right? So I'm actually going above here, right? Where that pain is, right? And the same thing if they're inducing pain in my heart, which they do often, I just do this, right, for a couple of minutes, and guess what? The pain subsides immediately. And you know why this is? This is the whole reason why I was saying, when it comes to blocking this is a targeting system. It uses an AI in order to figure out how these beams bounce off things. And it can bounce off the walls, it can bounce off the floor, it can bounce around the room. Shinier surfaces, better to bounce off it. It can bounce off walls, it can bounce off metals in the area. So you might have shielding up and it might use that to bounce off it and hit you. Alright, so essentially what's happening when I'm doing this? It's trying to target my chest, but it's like it's dealing with a moving target, right? Because it's got this thing flapping over the top of it. And so it can't get to me. It's that simple. It's trying to lock on and it's like going, well, oh, I'm not sure how to get through that thing. It keeps coming back in and out. It's waiting for a stable position. And this is why we get targeted while we're asleep, while we lie down. As soon as you lay down, you're not moving. It's easy for the system to hit you. And targets will agree, I'm sure, that when you're moving around, the targeting system isn't able to hit you as much. But it relies on hitting you when you relax. As soon as you try and relax, you try and sit on the couch, you get hit like a mofo. If you try and lie down to go to sleep, it's when you're going to get hit, right? So it's about wearing us down. And so I just wanted to share that. So this is a great one, by the way. Like, you don't need to have anything. So if you're getting same in the head or something, it might look stupid. I can rub your belly at the same time. But it's good because it can sometimes, if you do it for long enough, the system will just give up. So if you're getting intense attacks, remember that one. It's more useful than you think. The other thing is to have a panel of, you can use anything, by the way. You can do this with a piece of paper. Like, obviously things that repel the actual signal are going to be even more confusing for it. So a metal, like if you get something with A4, put foil over it and then contact it, or wrap it in plastic and then contact it or sticky tape it, and use that, shiny side out, right? And do that. You're reflecting it off. If you do that, you can just sort of, wave it away. And all of a sudden your pains aren't going to be there, right? So remember that. It's a good way to protect yourself. It can stop you from getting these internal burns that they're doing on purpose, so they can plausibly say, well, he was a smoker when you get lung cancer. Oh, well, he was a smoker. Heart attack. Oh, well, he did eat a lot, or he did eat a lot of junk food. Like, it's all plausible deniability. This is how they work. This is how the monsters work. They want people to have that excuse, the plausibly deniable excuse. It's like, oh, he says he was being hit with energy weapons. Yeah, but, he was a smoker, he was a drinker, he was on drugs, he was, like they have an excuse for everything. And what I'm saying is, whatever your poison is, they will use that. If you're a drinker, they're probably going to hit your liver a lot. If you take a lot of pills, they'll hit your kidneys. If you smoke, they'll hit your lungs. So be warned. And it all comes down to this. The pills have got shit in them and they will go into your kidneys and they will be harder on your kidneys, and then they'll use those particulates that are in there to actually cook them. And so what we're looking at is an accelerated rate of outcome for what you do. That is, there are consequences to taking the devil's poisons. Alright, so I know I should just give up smoking. Yeah, I'm working on it. It's one of the hardest things, being under stress. The first thing I reach for is a cigarette. And so I'm managing, but and my life's far from stress-free, and that's their idea, right? And so, but yeah, breathing. One of the simplest things you can do as another tool is just do 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, and repeat it 6 times. Go through the whole 6 and you'll be amazed how much better that can make you feel. And if you do that religiously and start to get used to it, then it makes a huge difference to your targeting. It'll drop off. It doesn't accelerate on the stress levels, because that's what it does. It tries to, so I'm getting that burn again, and now I can just remove that. It's quite amazing. But again, it's more effective with something that is shielding, like that, or the old gel pillow, right? These gel pillows are fantastic. They are hard. You hardly need to move. You can just sort of sit them there, and they're really good. Really really good. Gel pillows. The heavier the better, right? If they're heavier like a liquid, they feel like a liquid, they're better. The memory foam ones with the holes in them, they aren't as good. But the ones that are nice heavy gel, like this is a Dunlop, I think, and there is differences. This one is called a Dunlop. Oh, I can't read that. It looks like it's in another language. Dunlop pillow. Luxurious that's latex, that one. That's what that is. And yeah, that actually works really well. I find that's one of the best ones for blocking if you're stationary. Alright, that's all I wanted to share. Much love to you all, and all the best. Cool.